Really cool how on This Week in American Horror Story they opened up in 1968 and Valerie Solanas is introduced to us and how she shot Andy Warhol a couple times and then eventually wounded him but did not kill him, which is all a true story. But where it got weird with this whole backstory of Lena Dunham portraying Valerie was the connection to the Zodiac killings and that her Scum Manifesto group was behind those killings. It was very draining. What the show likes to do a lot of asking to really bend your belief here and take this all in after I'm just recovering from last week's episode. You're already getting used to kind of a twist that, okay, Kai's doing this boys club thing, which seems out of his character, which was odd. And then I'm annoyed because I like Beverly a lot, and then she's getting screwed out of this. But then I'm like, okay, this might make a really good angle for Beverly to verse Kai, which I was excited about. And then we get Frances Conroy back, a classic American Horror Story actress, who portrays Valerie Solanas' former lover, B.B. Babbitt. And she does a great job here, like always. And of course, Jamie Brewer, always a treat to see on this show. So adding B.B. Babbitt into this as an older version, meeting Beverly, was very interesting because now you're bringing in this other cult behavior and other radicalism. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm buying into this. It's adding a lot because now we have a season that was starting focusing on Sarah Paulson's character, Allie, and then focusing a lot on Kai, and now we're focusing a lot on another cult, so it's a lot and really quickly went to this. But as this episode went on, I started buying it. I like the scene with B.B. Babbitt with the other girls who kind of excluded out of the boys club. And you could see Winter getting frustrated. And it was like interesting, like, okay, Winter's Kai's brother, so she's got to feel torn here because it's her brother they're now plotting against. But she knows what her brother's doing to them and her. So that was really interesting storyline. And then how it kind of wrapped around really well, where that scene with Winter and Kai in the parents' bedroom, which is still so freaking creepy with the corpses on the bed like that. I think they should address that first before they address all these other issues. But I guess they're just so used to it. To each his own, I guess Shakespeare said that. I don't know. But we see Kai find the Scum Manifesto, which was written by Valerie Solanas. And that was a moment I was like, oh no. Like, Kai is nuts. What is he going to do to his sister? And then they kind of teased with us. And then he's talking about naming the group MLWB, Men Lead, Women Bleed. And then you're like, okay, Kai is crazy. It's going to be an all-out war. But then he pulls back and says, Harrison said that. So then you start thinking, like, wait a minute, what is Kai really up to? And what does he know? Because he's always one step ahead of everyone, including the audience of this show, every single character. Would they finally be stumping him? But what frustrated me was how you push all the way to set up this rivalry of two cults, which I thought was cool. Took a while to get used to it. It was a lot, but I liked it then. I got where they were going. And then the twist at the end with B.B. Babbitt being in on it with Kai was like, oh, now it's like, oh, over the place. It's too much. It's so much zigging and zagging and shock factor. And here's another twist. Here's another twist. Just bring it back a bit. You still got a lot of episodes left in the season. And if you're going to reveal that, maybe later so we can still get effective on something you just got us into. I mean, it's like, I'm just getting used to knowing that Alison Pill's character betrayed Sarah Paulson 2 episodes ago. Then I'm getting used to that everyone's in the cult. And now this episode I'm getting used to there's another cult. And then some of the people in that cult are leaving that cult. And then I'm getting used to in the same episode that this leader of this new cult is actually with the original cult. So it's like, wait, what? It's like, if you go to just pee during the commercial break and miss 2 seconds of a scene, it could be really confusing and maybe losing your attention because it's so hard to pick who to root for. This was a problem with Asylum too, is like at points there was just no one you really liked a lot and it can be so frustrating. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, Kai's still a great character. There's good characters here. Obviously, the most protagonist to me still is Sarah Paulson. But we didn't see her this whole episode, which I kind of didn't like. I feel like she needs a little more screen time now. She got way too much the first 3 episodes. Now it's like she's getting way too little. Just keep a little bit going back and checking in what's going on with her. But again, I like Lena Dunham's portrayal here. I know she's not that very popular of a person, but I did like her playing the character here. I think she did well. I mean, it's still solid acting, so it made sense this story happened to get to that scene with Winter and Kai and why she would have this manifesto in her possession and get kind of something else very brainwashing to get out of something she's in that's very brainwashing, which is Kai's cult. So the episode convinced me. I wasn't liking it at first, and then I was sold, and then I really enjoyed it, and then all of a sudden, I really didn't like that twist. So it's going to bring my score down. I'm going to give this episode like an 8, maybe 8.5, and I'm going to give it a 7 because it was just so much over the top. It feels like 3 different shows in one season, but not in the good way where it connects really well. Now it's just like, let's do this. Let's make him this, and let's change it this way. Another shock, another twist. Do it because it fits the story, sends a message, makes sense, but we need someone to attach to. That's why I'm here. I need someone to root for, and it's really struggling me with that this season. So I hope they can clear up before these final episodes what the end game is here. Because I can only be so interested in what Kai's eventually going to do. We get what he's going for, what he's doing, and we've revealed, ahead of even the biggest threat. So who's the biggest threat to Kai at this point? We don't have one. And who's the good guy? We don't have one. That's a big thing bringing the season down. But overall, I'm still enjoying it. It's still got the entertainment value. Ryan Murphy knows how to keep you into it. But it has so much potential to get to that Murder House level of like solid story there as well. And not feeling so rushed and all over the place with a focus. But that will do it for my episode review of American Horror Story this week. Please come back every week. I review every episode of American Horror Story. I also review a bunch of movies right now. I do trailer reactions, celebrity interviews, and much, much more. Please comment below with your thoughts on this episode. Let me know what you thought. I respond to everyone. And please, please subscribe and keep coming back.